Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack a sequence of events that is, quite frankly, absolutely chilling. We're looking at a beautifully serene mountain river that, according to the accounts we're diving into today, swallowed 4 friends completely whole. It's a fascinating look at what happens when local legend and natural phenomena collide, leaving us with way more questions than answers.
So picture this. It's the perfect summer afternoon. You're hanging out with your 3 best friends, the sun is beating down, and there's this incredibly cool, inviting river right in front of you. Now imagine that within just a matter of minutes, all 4 of those boys vanish. No screams for help, no prolonged struggle, literally not a single trace left behind. Just gone. It pulls us right into the heart of this terrifying mystery. What exactly was in that river? Was it some kind of tragic, unseen natural hazard? Or did the water hide a secret that we still don't understand? Well, let's break down the facts and the folklore.
Section 1. The Terror of Kali Dhara.
Tucked away in a small village up in the North Indian mountains, the Kali Dhara River looked, honestly, perfectly idyllic by day. You've got clear water, cool breezes, thick, lush trees lining the banks. It looks like paradise. But the village elders, they insisted it was deeply cursed. As soon as evening rolled around, nobody dared to go anywhere near it. According to the stories passed down through the village over the years, several people had simply vanished into this river without a single trace. No bodies were ever recovered. Now, of course, to an outsider, this just sounds like pure superstition, right? Just a scary story. But as we're gonna see, that reputation was about to be put to the ultimate test.
Section 2. An ominous afternoon. Our story focuses on 4 childhood friends, Ravi, Aman, Deepak, and Sonu. They were on their summer holidays, and when they announced their plan to go bathe in the river, they were immediately hit with a chilling warning from the village elders. Don't go into that river. Something is not right there. But you know how it is. They're a group of young, energetic teenagers, so they totally brushed the warning off. To them, it was just an old wives' tale meant to keep kids from wandering off. So they grab their things, leave the village, and hit the riverbanks at exactly 2 p.m. They dropped their clothes on the shore and laughingly wade right into the water. And initially, everything was perfectly normal.
Let's actually track exactly how this unfolded, step by step, because the sensory changes that happen next are just completely baffling. At minute 0, they get in. Hot day, refreshing water, all good. But at minute 10, Ravi suddenly stops and asks the others if they feel it too. Out of nowhere, the water had rapidly dropped in temperature. It was suddenly ice cold. By minute 11, they noticed something super weird. The water right in the middle of this completely calm river is starting to spin on its own. A small whirlpool begins to form out of absolutely nowhere, totally defying the normal visible flow of the river. And then, at minute 12, Deepak screams. He yells out that something has grabbed his legs. The other 3 immediately start swimming toward him to help, but before they can even get close, Deepak is violently pulled under the surface.
From here, the nightmare unfolds incredibly fast. Step 1. Ravi, desperately trying to save his friend, reaches out to grab Deepak's hand, but he too is instantly dragged beneath the water. Step 2. Absolute panic sets in. Aman and Sonu realize what's happening and try desperately to swim back toward the shore. But suddenly, this massive undercurrent forms, acting almost like an invisible magnet pulling them backward into the center. Within seconds, Aman disappears. Step 3. Sonu is now entirely alone. His terrified scream echoes through the dense forest around them. But in step 4, just moments later, he too is completely swallowed by the water. And honestly, the most haunting detail of this whole ordeal, as soon as Sonu vanishes, the river goes back to being perfectly, completely calm, as if literally nothing ever happened.
Section 3. Failed Search Operation.
So, when the boys hadn't come home by that evening, the entire village rushed out to the riverbanks. And the crucial takeaway here is the sheer baffling lack of physical evidence following the event. When the locals arrived, they found the boys' clothes and slippers just resting undisturbed on the shore, but the boys were nowhere to be found. The police showed up the very next day, bringing in a team of professional divers. These divers spent hours meticulously scouring the riverbed. And keep in mind, this river was relatively shallow. It really shouldn't have been that difficult to navigate or search. And yet, despite this massive, exhaustive operation in clear, shallow waters, they found absolutely zero evidence. No bodies, no torn clothing, nothing.
0. That is the exact number of clues recovered from the water. It's a wildly haunting statistic that really forms the core of this whole mystery. It was literally as though the river had just erased their existence. I mean, for a team of professional divers to find absolutely nothing in a shallow river, it completely defies standard expectations of water recovery operations.
Section 4.
folklore versus science.
So, how do we explain this? Well, when faced with the unknown, human understanding usually splits in two directions. On one side, you have the local folklore. The villagers immediately pointed to this old tragedy where a boat had sunk in that exact spot years ago, claiming a lot of lives. They fully believed the waters were cursed. Some even claimed they could hear mysterious voices at night, or see human silhouettes moving in the thick fog that rolls off the water. On the flip side, we have the scientific perspective from hydrologists. They explain that rivers can be incredibly deceptive. Right beneath a totally calm top layer, you can have these deep, hidden holes and vicious, rapid undercurrents. Those currents can create sudden whirlpools that are easily powerful enough to disorient and drag down even the most experienced swimmers. So both sides offer a reason for that sudden downward pull, but they're obviously approaching it from entirely different worldviews.
Section 5. Unsolved Mystery.
Because neither the bodies nor any physical clues were ever recovered, neither the scientific theory nor the supernatural folklore could ever be definitively proven. It leaves us with this profound, unsettling unknown. Even today, the villagers refuse to go anywhere near the river alone, and kids are strictly forbidden from playing on those banks. The river just continues to flow, looking perfectly calm on the surface, while keeping its secrets buried deep within. It's a pretty stark reminder of the hidden power of nature, and how incredibly quickly a serene environment can turn deadly.
Now, before we wrap up, I do need to give you a quick disclaimer. The super compelling narrative we just walked through is actually a fictional, documentary-style story created for entertainment, meant to explore local legends rather than recount a real historical event. But even so, it perfectly illustrates how terrifying hydrological dangers and local folklore can intertwine. It really makes you wonder, the next time you see perfectly still waters, are you just looking at a rare natural anomaly, or is there something far darker hiding beneath the surface? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking questions.